We are in Norwalk at the Norwalk Green here, and Norwalk, according to a study by Realtor.com, specifically the zip code 06851, is the 8th most searched zip code in the United States in the first half of 2023. So we're going to walk a little bit here on the Green, and in this video, we're going to dive into what has made Norwalk such a popular search spot, a destination for buyers looking to come to Connecticut. And this actually piggybacks off of a Forbes Magazine article that was written earlier this year that named Norwalk the #1 town to live in Connecticut and the 26th best town to live in the United States. So as we continue this video, we're going to dive into the town a little bit, again, specifically the zip code 06851, show you why it has become such a destination for buyers, what you can expect if you live here, and why Norwalk is such a great place to live. All right, so let's dive into where the zip code 06851 is. So we're going to start kind of zoomed out a bit in case you don't know where Connecticut is or the shape of it if you're coming from way out of town. So we have Connecticut here outlined in red. We border New York State, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, with the Long Island Sound here that leads out into the Atlantic Ocean. If we get into Norwalk here, so you can see where Norwalk is, we zoom down into the southwest corner of the state. You have Norwalk here surrounded by Westport, Wilton, New Canaan, and Darien. If we zoom out a little bit, just so that you kind of see our proximity here to New York City, this is Manhattan. It's about a 50-minute drive with no traffic, an hour train ride. And then we will dive in a bit more to where 06851 is. Norwalk CT 06851. And you'll see we're kind of in the northeast corner of the town here. So again, if we zoom out, do my best here to kind of give you where Norwalk is. It's kind of this right here. So we kind of this edge here. So again, we're in the northeast corner of the state, bordering Westport, Wilton, and basically we'll call it the west side of Norwalk, West Norwalk. If we dive in a bit more to 06851 and kind of where, what the popular places are in the zip code, you can already see Stu Leonard's here, which is on Route 1. This is Route 1 that runs all the way from Maine down to Florida, and Stu Leonard's here. If we click on it, known as the world's largest dairy store, it's a true experience because as you walk through, there are no lanes, there are no aisles like you normally have in a grocery store. Instead, you kind of meander through the store, through every section they have, and it's a really different shopping experience. If we zoom out a bit in the north section of 06851, which we have now lost because I clicked on Stu, so let's go back to that. You have Gallagher Mansion in Cranbury Park, which I will cut to here, and it is a extremely large park. It is a dog park. It has a frisbee golf course, and the Gallagher Mansion, which can be used for weddings and private events. Actually, my mom about 20 years ago ran a daycare preschool here, so it has a lot of uses. It can be rented out from the town, but there's been a lot of work done to this park. You can see the pathways, the playground for the kids. It's a really great park to go to, either go for a long walk in the woods or to bring your dog to tire them out. So let's tour some of the neighborhoods here in the zip code 06851, and we'll start with the one that you can actually see here on the map, Cranbury, which is the largest within this zip code. And I'll try to kind of draw basically where it is. People will tell you it ends and starts in different places, but it generally comes from the Cranbury Park and comes down and over. And as we drive through here, you kind of just get a sense of what than this neighborhood is like. There are typically larger lots, some as big as a half acre. The homes are more established. There are really great smaller neighborhoods to live in within Cranbury as well. And right now, as of August 23, the average price of a home sold in Cranbury is about $757,500. We'll zoom in here a little bit to get to the Wolfpit area, which is named after Wolfpit School. And it kind of comes down, it's kind of borders Newtown Avenue here, comes down to Route 1 and over to Westport. And Wolfpit, again, it's a great neighborhood to be in. I kind of like to classify it as the neighborhood you move into with quote unquote a starter home, but you don't really leave because the homes are just big enough to stay there long term. Again, some of the lots are larger, but they tend to be around a quarter of an acre or a little bit less. And right now, as we drive through the neighborhood here, the average prices of homes sold in Wolfpit in August 2023 is $550,000. So now we'll move into the West Rocks neighborhood, which is, again, this isn't exact, but kind of the outline here of the mouse. And West Rocks, again, as we drive through the neighborhood, kind of actually a little bit more similar to Cranbury. It's a good mix of what Cranbury and Wolfpit are. Depending on the further north you go within this neighborhood, the lot sizes tend to get a little bit larger. As you get closer to Stu Leonard's here, they tend to get a little bit smaller. And right now, the average price of a home in West Rocks is $515,000. And the Bettswood area, the Norwalk Green, some link them together, some don't, is this area down here. Again, very close to Stu Leonard's, much closer to East Norwalk and access to Highway I-95, which is a main corridor into New York City. And homes right now are selling for about $612,000. So let's end this video by talking about Norwalk as a whole and why it has become such an attractive place to live, why buyers are looking to come here. And I mentioned earlier the article in Fortune Magazine that named Norwalk the best place to live in Connecticut and number 29 in the US. Actually, I think I misspoke earlier when I said number 26. It's actually number 29 in the US. And the magazine article pointed out what we in Norwalk already love about the town. So quick access to the Maritime Center, which is an incredible aquarium with an IMAX theater. I bring my son here all the time. He absolutely loves it. He's mesmerized by the seals and all the fish. He really has a great time, and people love it here. They mentioned the annual Oyster Festival, which actually happened last week, which is at Veterans Memorial Park, where there are stands set up for local businesses and all different types of food. There's a band that comes and plays every year. It's a really great time. There's rides, games, and things like that. The Sono Arts Festival, which happens every year. Another great place located down in Sono, which we will move in to South Norwalk over the last 15 years, has grown into a destination for some of the greatest restaurants in our area. Great nightlife. It's a beautiful old school downtown. It has a great energy. People love going there, and because the rents are so high for all the restaurants that make it are so good. The food is really incredible. There's the Stepping Stones Museum for Children, and then there's many Fortune 500 companies: Xerox, Frontier Communications, Pepperidge Farm. Goldfish are made here in Norwalk. And this is why Norwalk has become such a great destination. It is an awesome town to raise a family. I loved growing up here. And the practical side of this is the cost of living here compared to towns around, especially if you're commuting into New York. Towns around us like Darien has an average sale price right now of $2.3 million. Fairfield, $1 million. New Canaan is $2 million. Weston, $1.3 million. Westport, $2.2 million. Wilton, $1.1 million. Norwalk right now is averaging about 695,000. So as you can see, when the towns around are in the millions, Norwalk becomes a great destination for middle-class families who need to be in this area for work and are looking for a more affordable place to live. So I hope you enjoyed this tour today of Norwalk, specifically the zip code 06851. If you want to stay up to date on Norwalk, the market, the towns around, anything in Fairfield County, please subscribe to this channel here, Living in Connecticut. We talk about every town here in Fairfield County with some great home tours as well. And if you have any questions about moving, whether it's in 9 or 90 days, please feel to reach out via call, text, or email. I look forward to hearing from you, and I look forward to seeing you on our next video.